Hi everyone, welcome back to my garden. Today I'm going to be reworking, reimagining, just repurposing a bunch of little collection or snippets of plants that I've collected in pots. I will be reworking two, well, probably more, but two on camera. I will be using one of these vases, which I sculpt. They're originals. And here you are. We are just starting. This one I'm going to do it with cuttings. So I'm reworking a lot of the plants that were in the blue pot into this one. And I'll be using some other plants that were in smaller pots. And again, this is just going to be cuttings. So this one I won't be watering for probably 3 weeks or so. A lot of these plants that I'm putting in here are very hardy. I'm using a mixture of jades and just Haworthii and just aloes. So it's plants that are hardy and they're very adaptable to using as cuttings. All these plants will become humongous with time. So I will definitely need to pull these out and rework this pot probably by the end of the season, if not earlier. But in the moment, it's going to look so beautiful for a few months, and it's just going to be great. Low maintenance and gorgeous. Again, I will be using one of those vases that I sculpt, and it's just, I love these. I think these arrangements are so magical. They just take me back to The Man in the Moon or Dr. Seuss. I don't know. They're just great to have something whimsical and unique in your garden. So if you're interested in buying one of these, you can go to my site. I'm always refreshing the inventory. At the moment, I don't think I have any, but I will be posting some in the near future that I will be selling. Just reimagining and reworking your pots is so fun. I'm so sorry that the orientation came out vertical on this one. Further on, when I taped the other pot, it did come out horizontal. So, but anyhow, you get the gist of everything, and hopefully this will be helpful to you. And it's just so awesome when you get to go shopping in your garden and just go take all those little pots that you had that really aren't doing much and combine them to make other beautiful arrangements. That is what is so just fantastic about having a garden, whether it be succulents or just annuals or any type of flowers or plants. There's always something to do in the garden, and usually you just get lost. Just like with anything that you do, creative or artistic, you tend to go into a zone of meditation, a Zen zone, and that's very good for the soul. So as you see here, I use one of my old brushes, my art brushes. It's just has a long handle, and it's multi-use for me in the garden, not only to clean off the succulents that I plant or just dust off some spider webs, but also it assists me in making holes. Here you're seeing this Aeonium Schwarzkopf. It grows so leggy and lanky. Um, and I just had some dried ones in the ground somewhere, so I pulled them. And look how beautiful they look now, just by giving them a cleaning and a trim and putting them in a pot as fresh cuttings. It will give them a new beginning, really. Aeoniums are great to reuse and cut and use as cuttings because they do root easily. Just remember, this pot, I won't be watering it for some time now. I'd say like 3 weeks. And then after that, very little, because I don't want this pot to grow too soon. I want to enjoy it, even though a lot of these, like these jades, these are bushes. I mean, they grow into bushes, so I know that this one is one that is not going to last me a year, but still, just the enjoyment that it's going to give me, and just the record, because I take video, I take pictures of all my beautiful garden pots and flowers, and even though they may not last forever, they will last in my photo library forever. So that I'm always looking to create lasting works of art by taking pictures and using the photography to really give them a forever life. This Aristata aloe is so beautiful. Very slow grower, but it does tend to reproduce a little bit. And this one has lived in pots here, there, and everywhere. And she's still going. See, just like, I mean, it looks like something, this one already rooted a bit. It was a cutting. I'm going to treat it as a cutting, put it back in here. And I just refreshed it, took off the ugly petals and or leaves, and put a little bit more fresh dirt in there and just stuck it in there. And like with all these arrangements that I make, I like leaving a little bit of leeway, a little bit of space in between, not super packing them, because I do want them to grow a little bit. So I tend to fill the empty spaces with rock, just big rocks that I can remove as needed as the plants fill out or grow bushier. I just go ahead and take the rocks out and let them use that soil. I love coming out in the garden and doing this. The reason I wanted to do this weekend is because it will start getting hot from this point on. And I had to take advantage of this beautiful weather that we're having. Again, when you're arranging these, there's no right or wrong way. Really, it's what looks aesthetically pleasing to you. Just remember the harmony, really. Being an artist, I'm always looking for color. Color always gives me the direction, but as I'm doing this, it's by eye, really. By texture, by eye, by size. Yeah, so just pay special attention to that, and you'll end up with a great arrangement. Not put things that are going to stand out a lot. On this one, I tried an aloe, coral aloe, I believe it was. And yeah, that was just out of place. And so I replaced it, took it out. And yeah, here you're seeing this beautiful little aloe that I will be keeping in this arrangement. It's more compact, so it goes beautiful. The purpose for my videos is to hopefully give whoever watches them some direction and learn from my mistakes, and give you tips and tricks and just show you my garden. I really enjoy seeing other people's gardens also all over the world, which is so wonderful. I really want you to really meditate when you're with me, to relax, to go into a state where, oh, I'm just going to grab my favorite drink and sit down and just have a little conversation here, even if it's mental, to just relax or to take a little nap when you watch my videos. I won't be offended. That's awesome. That means that you are enjoying the moment and relaxing. Don't be afraid to try plants that you kind of feel won't work. You can always remove them. That is what's so great about reinventing something, that it's really what you feel looks good. So no problem. I will use that one in another arrangement. Here I am, cleaning out the jade. I don't know if you guys are hearing some purring here, but that's extra zen for you guys. My little kitty Charlie is purring away here. Yeah, my hubby is putting up a shade on the other side of my succulent bed because we had only left half of it, but it's starting to get hot, and I planted all my beautiful Echeveria babies and cuttings and all the beheaded ladies that I had cut. And I do have a video that I posted before this one showing you guys that end result and explaining the process of what I did and all that, if you're interested. Okay, so here I am nearing pretty much the end. The last step is to put some top dressing. I like using these big rocks that give your plants so a chance to expand and cover up the dirt. If they start growing, I just remove them and they will fill out in the bowl beautifully. I go ahead and use my brush to clean off any debris. Okay, so this is the before and this is the after. Oh, amazing. Okay, now we start with this blue one. I harvested a lot of the plants that I used in the other planter from here. So it is just like a junkyard here. I just have a few left that some could need saving. Some I'm just going to pick up the roots and all the debris that's left in this pot and just kind of clean up the soil as much as I could. And then just dump some nice potting soil on top. And even there was a weed that got into my arrangement here. The nerve. But yeah, just go ahead and dump out all the stuff, all the roots or stems or just big lumps that you don't want there, and just refresh it with the soil. I do have cactus mix that I buy at the store. I really don't like it. It has a lot of like bark. It's very, I don't like it. So what I do is I buy it, but then I use it at the bottom, and then I put potting soil at the top. Because what I really want is the drainage at the bottom. These are some new ones. Look, these beautiful Echeveria elegans that I bought this weekend. And I did buy a Tormentosa, Chocolate Soldier, Kalanchoe Tormentosa. Here I am, so a lot of these, look at these These are from the Calidope. I might be saying that wrong, but Calidope aloe that I cut when I beheaded all the mamas. And look at, I've been watering it, and look how many, it's got a lot of roots already. So we're gonna put it here in this arrangement. This little table flops around, drives me nuts, but I like it to plant because it's got those holes in it. So any of the soil, anything drops to the ground, and then I just sweep it. But it's kind of teeter-tottering, driving me a little bit nuts here. Here I am using my trusty brush. And again, you know, just use what you have. If you have that well-draining soil at the bottom, that's good. I like refreshing with a little bit of soil because it has the vitamins and just the nutrients and all that. When you're going to be restarting one of these pots, you know, they have a good chance of doing great if you do that. Here I'm just cleaning up this beauty. I mean, look at all the drainage. Every time you get these from like the store or whatever, they're usually drenched, and I'm imagining, how are these plants not dead? Because I mean, you water them a little bit and they die, but at the nursery they just soak these. But look at all the drainage these pots have, and that's the key, the drainage. Because it's not that succulents don't like water. I mean, they do great with the rain. When it rains here, sometimes it rains for days, and they're happy because the water drains. We have very sandy soil here in Southern California, so most of these that I'm planting in here are not cuttings. They have roots. So this one is one that I can water right away. I'm probably going to wait till tomorrow to water it. Yeah, here I am. I mean, some of these I might cut up as cuttings, but when I know that they work, and I'll just go ahead and make a mental note. We'll see how that works. But try to just avoid watering those if I do use cuttings. But these aeoniums got really, really dirty with a lot of dust and fur, but look how gorgeous they are. These aeoniums, I mean, you buy a few of them and you will have a bounty in no time because they just reproduce so much, and this is the time when they're awake. They're budding, they're beautiful. They do go dormant when it becomes too hot though. So this is the time to enjoy them. So we're going to be putting this beauty in this pot so I can go ahead and see her and all her babies. And here's that coral aloe. I'll just be sticking it in here to complement these other aloes. So in this case, I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of roots and it looks pretty long. So as you see here, I'm going to attempt to plant it with that long stem. Because a lot of people ask, you know, can't you just plant it deeper? Here's my hubby bringing refreshments. It's Memorial Weekend today, so what better way to spend it in the garden with some refreshments, repotting your plants. So I did end up cutting that aeonium, I believe. So just to show you, you do what you have to do when you're potting these. And if you see that something's not working, something's not liking it, or it's not thriving, don't don't hesitate to pull it out. Put it in a different environment, in a pot by itself, and then just replacing it. Um, these beautiful Gibi floras, I went ahead, they were crested, there were tons, I bought tons of these, but they they um they need some maintenance because they tend to get they're very dense from the top. So you have to pull out the little dried leaves, and they get a little bit gnarly, so you have to keep an eye on them and keep refreshing them. hmm See, this is what see, that would have been great there, but no, it throws the other ones off balance. So I have a collection of these. I'm just going to go ahead and make another pot with those. And again, I don't want to over plant this because I want to leave it a little bit of space to grow. Here I have some more of those aeoniums. See, when there are a bunch of little ones like this, you just go ahead and grab 3 of them, stick them in there. And some more of these. But yeah, it's such a beautiful, beautiful bowl or planter that I really, really want to showcase it and plant something beautiful. But it, as time goes by, you end up taking stuff out, putting stuff in, stuff dies or whatever, and at the end of the season, they end up looking pretty bad. So don't be afraid to reimagine and recreate, and just take it as an opportunity to plant something else, something beautiful. And even if you're using the same ones, you can always refresh them with adding different ones, or just even switching them, the location. And here I am, I believe, putting the rock. Yeah. And I love these big boulders, these big, like, well, they're not big boulders, but they're bigger than your little pebble sized gravel that you put. A lot of people put that in the pots and they do look gorgeous, but for me it's a lot of problem. You know, whenever you want to repot, pull something out, that little pebble goes into the soil. You can't reuse the soil because then it's full of pebbles. And these are awesome because you can just pull them out, reuse them whenever, fill them, and here you go. I think it turned out beautiful. I love it. Again, the colors of the succulents, those garnets and just greens and blues, and just those hues are so beautiful with any decor, I think. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll go ahead and give you another look at the first arrangement. So beautiful. Again, these little faces, they're original sculpts by myself. I do sell them on my Etsy store, so I'll link that below. And even though I may not have some in inventory, you can email me, and I'll go ahead and put some on there so that you guys can purchase them. All right, everyone, have a fantastic day. I'll leave you with a look at my awesome little frog that my daughter bought me this weekend for my garden, and looks of my revamped, beautiful um, bed with all my echeverias. They seem to be doing great, and I'm just so happy that I was able to place them in the ground again. All right, everyone, I wish you health and happiness wherever you are. I will talk to you guys later, and like always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and welcome to all the new subscribers. Talk to you later.